violence.
This weekend, Congressman Adam Schiff of Burbank met with Ukrainian President Zelenskyy in Kyiv. He traveled there with House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. Earlier today, Schiff gave us his first interview after getting off the plane.
So I knew a lot about him, but it's one thing to know a lot about something. It's another to sit down with them and to see, you know, the kind of calm that he demonstrates in the midst of war, the really comprehensive knowledge he has of the military strategy, of the humanitarian needs. He's inspired not just Ukrainians, but people all around the world, including a great many here in the United States.
So you guys spoke for 3 hours. What'd you talk about? What'd he say? What'd you say to him?
The first hour and a half was basically sitting around a conference table and going over, okay, this is the state of the battlefield, this is what we need. We talked about what we're doing, what our allies are doing, what we're not yet doing. I asked a lot about our intelligence sharing. I wanted to make sure that we were getting them good real-time information. And then we moved into another room and had dinner and continued the conversation. It was all work. I mean, it wasn't making small talk. But when you consider that prior to holding office, he was a comedic actor in a sitcom, playing a comedic actor who becomes president of Ukraine. It was really astounding to see how he has become this Churchill of Ukraine.
How is he maybe different in person than what you see on TV?
He is, and you might get this sense from him on TV, but he is utterly without affect. I mean, he's the president of a country at war, but he doesn't stand on ceremony. There's no pomp, there's no circumstance. So he comes across really as just a normal human being who's been thrust in this extraordinary job with the weight of his country hanging on him, as well as much of the free world. What
was he specifically asking you for, and are you going to be able to deliver on that?
The battlefield has changed. The war has entered a new phase. So he was asking us for more long-range artillery, and we are sending it. Lots of howitzers, lots of ammunition. But there are other systems that would have an even bigger impact, multiple rocket launch systems that I think we should provide, as well as anti-ship munitions to take out some of that Russian Black Sea fleet so that Ukraine can once again open the port of Odessa.
I mean, you've had a lot of meetings over the years, but you've had a meeting in the middle of an active war zone. Was it scary driving into that? Were you concerned for your safety? What was it like?
You know, we had a lot of security around us. So at that level, you feel secure, but at the same time, the Russians are launching cruise missiles into Kyiv. And, you know, some of them are targeted, some of them seem to be pretty random. And so the citizens of Kyiv, you know, have to live with the fear that, you know, they could see up in the sky a cruise missile, and before they could react, their life would be over. And, you know, we got a vivid sense of that, being there and knowing that if you're in the wrong place at the wrong time, then it's lights out.
Was your wife or family kind of concerned about you going?
You know, I couldn't really tell my family where it was going.
Not even your wife?
Well, you know, I'm sure that they can figure out, because I can't tell them where I'm going, that I'm going somewhere that's not safe. But when I was out of harm's way, I let my wife know so that she wouldn't worry any longer than was necessary.
What's your big takeaway from this trip?
That the Ukrainians have a will to fight if they are given the means, that they have a real chance to push Russia back, but also that I couldn't help but think of the eerie echo of the 1930s. Once again, there is a dictator in Europe who believes that it is his God-given right to subjugate other peoples, that other countries around him aren't real countries. You know, it's very reminiscent of Hitler and his view that whether it's the Sudetenland or Austria, that the Reich had a right to these territories and peoples. And so it seems awfully familiar. Obviously, the parallels only go so far. But we haven't seen a massive invasion in Europe like this since World War II.
Thanks to Congressman Adam Schiff.
Yeah, so it's remarkable to think what he just witnessed, and also to think that we are on almost day 70 of the war. And Alex, when this broke out on February 24th, when we started covering, it was day 1, day 2, day 3, and then, you know, we've sort of backed off of it, and we need to make sure that this does stay in the news.
Yeah, and that's something we're going to work on tomorrow night as well, right, Marla?
Right. So there is a local organization. It's called the Children of War Foundation. They're doing incredible things. We're going to talk to one of the members. He is a journalist. Pardon me. He's a photographer. He just got back from delivering $500,000 worth of medicine to Ukraine. He went into Bucha, which we know was decimated, and he has some incredible images and stories to share with us. That's coming up tomorrow night at 7 o'clock.
Yeah, that's the hardest hit part of Ukraine.